Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to Inside Agriculture with me, Emmanuel Mwemba. Sustainable agriculture is essential for food security and environmental protection. With a growing concerns of climate challenges, farmers are being encouraged to adapt to climate-smart agricultural practices that helps them to improve their yields and their productivity as they continue navigating the effect of climate change. In the studio, I am joined by Mr. Peter Phiri, who is an agronomist from Life Cycles Organics. And also, I'm joined by engineer Bernard Chiwala, who is an avocado farmer and is here to testify on how the use of organic fertilizers has been working well for him in his farming activities. Welcome to Inside Agriculture.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mwemba.
Great. Just to kickstart the conversation, Engineer Chiwala, can you briefly just tell us about yourself?
Thank you very much. I'm an avocado farmer. We are into avocado farming. In Lusaka, we do the avocado seedlings and also do processing of avocado oil. However, establishment of the avocado farm, we are doing that in Kitwe, in Ganaton. That's where we are promoting and growing avocado. And that's what we are doing at the moment.
Great, great. Coming to you, Mr. Phiri, you are coming from Life Cycles Organics.
Yes.
Yeah, can you tell us more about Life Cycle Organics and how it aligns with Zambia's agricultural needs?
Okay. Thank you very much, and thanks for the question. Okay, Life Cycle Organics is basically looking at sustainable innovations in terms of the agriculture sector. We are looking at environmental protection, we are looking at yield improvement, we are looking at protecting the soils. So basically as a business, we are looking at a model that promotes life. That's why we are known as Life Cycle Organics. So we are looking at all aspects of the agriculture sector depending on what innovations that are there, but our processes are innovations that are able to sustain agriculture in terms of the usage of land, utilization of soils, and also protection of the environment. I think we've had climate change issues are becoming a very big issue. We've had farmers who've been growing maize and all these things over time. So we're now trying to find sustainable solutions and innovations that are going to actually make sure that agriculture is profitable and also sustainable in the long term.
Great. Today we are discussing supporting sustainable agriculture through organic innovations. How are you addressing the issue of climate change and environmental management in farming communities?
Okay, so basically we are addressing those challenges by coming up with products that are able to mitigate the challenges that would come with effects of the environment and also climate change. But if you look at it, we are looking at, first of all, the nutritional balance of what a plant requires for you to get the yields that you need. Secondly, we are looking at also the soils that we are going to actually grow those crops longevity. And also we're looking at the outside environment to make sure that there's sustainable growth in terms of the agriculture sector, and also to make sure that there isn't a lot of losses in terms of when farmers are, venturing into agriculture. There isn't any loss in terms of water, there isn't any loss in terms of nutrition, there isn't any loss in terms of deforestation, in terms of how we treat our lands and how we utilize them. So that is one area that we're doing it. So we've created products in line with what it is to be a sustainable, natural or organic farmer going forward. I think that is something that we've actually looked at here.
Great, great.
Yes.
Coming to you, Engineer Chiwala, how are you navigating the adverse effects of climate change, being the avocado farmer?
Key to farming is the soil health. And that's what we are focusing on. The green and organics products really are helping us. The need to ensure that the microorganisms in the soil are not destroyed, because those are the ones that get the nutrients and feed the avocado plants. And very key. Look at the rainforest. How do the trees grow there? So this project has mirrored what happens in the natural environment, how the microbes are able to turn around the organic material and get the nutrients and be able to put them in the soil and then give them to the plant. And that's what attracted us to these products. They are able to help renew the soil, ensure that you minimize erosion, and ensure that those microbes are multiplied. You are beginning to get earthworms in the soil that help to churn the soil. And this product does that. And so far, we've used it in our avocado farming, and it has helped us greatly.
Great. Mr. Piri,
Yes.
what product have you come up with to help farmers address the adverse effect of climate change, and how are you scaling up the operations to meet the needs of smallholder farmers as well as commercial farmers?
Okay, so as Life Cycle, we came up with, so far we have 3 products that are on the market at the moment. We have our biofertilizer, which is basically an already converted amino acid. This is basically a balanced food for your plants. This is fertilizer that you need to apply. It's a total fertilizer, a totally balanced product that basically is easy for soil conditioning. That means those of us that have soils that are very poor, you can actually put it down on the ground and condition your soils into certain areas where it can actually get you the right yield. Number 2, it's very good as a foliar fet, where you can actually feed directly to the plant as your foliar. Basically, this is a complete food for the plant. One thing that a lot of farmers have to understand is it's a very basic thing. No matter what you try to put in the soil, it doesn't matter whether it's a chemical or an organic product or a biological product, whichever you try to put down, without the ecology of that soil being in the right path, those things will literally not work. So now that's why we came up with products like this one that actually help, make a synthetic fertilizer become more efficient, makes an organic product become more efficient. So we stand in between the balance of the two. So this one actually, we said, goes in 10 times faster into the plant because it's already a converted amino acid. Your plant does not have to labor to convert that into an amino acid to get into the system of the plant. It actually is already an amino acid. That means it already goes into the system of the plant. So that one is actually a fertilizer that we are promoting heavily because it's a soil conditioner. That means instead in areas where we've got nutritional lockups, you can actually use that product. A lot of our farmers complain to say, no, I've applied this and I've applied top, I've applied basal, but they forget one thing. How good are your soils? How long have you done the same process over the time? I mean, have you improved your soils? Have you checked how your soils are? Because sometimes you've got what we call nutritional lockups, where the nutritional qualities of your soils are there, but they've not been unleashed to come out and actually work on your plant. So the best is to get a product like this one, drench it on the ground, and then you work with it. Our second product is a biosulfur. I think a lot of us have seen sulfur on a bag of decompound in most cases where you see 10, 20, 10, and 6% sulfur. This is a biological sulfur, which is also a biological product. So it's basically a fungicide, it's an insecticide or pesticide, it's a germicide, and also a sulfur-based fertilizer. So it has 4 components in one. So now, what are the challenges that our farmers face in terms of getting yield? We have to understand that a crop will get attacked by diseases. The diseases can be fungal in nature, they can be insects, they can be pests, and they can be nutritional deficiencies. So we've got a product that is actually able to address those problems. Right now, what is the biggest challenge for maize farmers? It's a full armyworm. Everybody's complaining about the full armyworm. Nobody's talking about preventing the full armyworm from coming to attack it. Everybody's going in to try to kill it, but it's going to come back again the next season because you've not disturbed the cycle of that armyworm. So we've got products like this one that actually try to bring in a balance in terms of getting rid of a problem, but without destroying the environment. Because when you go in with certain products, you're going to destroy the environment. So if you look at that one, a farmer that wants to achieve very high yields has to look at his disease package, which is always crop protection. They have to look at their fertilization, which is also cardinal, very important for them. So as Life Cycle, we've got products of that nature that actually come in. The third product that we have as Life Cycle is the soapicide, which is basically an adjuvant. It's basically a sticker that you put to enhance the usage or the spread of or the efficacy of the sulfur. But alone also the soapicide has insecticide properties, which it can actually deny oxygen to the full armyworm, the two-tap saluters, the diamond back moth, all these problems that our farmers are facing right across the board. And on top of that, we've also not only, like I said, we're Life Cycle. We've not only looked at one aspect of farming, we also try to look at the livestock side of farming. So what we've done is we've introduced pastures as well, in terms of grass that farmers can plant for their livestock. We're also introducing dips, which are locally manufactured as well, to make sure that our farmers get a whole package. What are we trying to do? We understand that if a farmer is, most of our farmers, they are growing maize, they're the same farmers who are keeping goats, and they're the same farmers keeping sheep. So as life cycle, we cannot ignore one aspect of the sector and say we're only going to focus on one side of it. We're going to look at it holistically. And for the farmers, we have to also help the livestock farmers increase the carrying capacity of their land. And the only way you can increase your carrying capacity of your land is by making sure that you replace the existing pastures that the grass-fed God already gave us, and actually try to plant something else to increase the carrying capacity, because as a farmer, you're supposed to grow. The word of someone being called a peasant farmer should be a word of the past now. I think every farmer should be moving from being peasant to something else. I think those are some of the aspects that we really have to look at if we look at the products that we have available.
Great, great. Actually, when we look at soil is a resource that many farmers uses to increase productivity. And soil degradation leads to lower the production of farmers. So now, how should farmers use these products you have come up with as a foliar spray and soil condition?
Okay, so on the usage basically is a very standard usage. It's not a very complicated one. The standard, let's say if you're doing vegetables, there's already a created program which is a standard program. That's what the farmer is going to follow. Whether the product performs, we know the product performs very well. So some farmers would like to say, this product is performing well, just like human nature. This is performing well, let me increase the amount of it that I'm using. We don't even allow you to do that. You can actually even encourage you to go below the standard that we give you, because we know how effective our product is. So basically, for soil conditioning, the farmer can start by drenching it on the ground. That means opening the nozzle cap of the sprayer and putting it in the stations where they are planting. Or if they are putting any organic material on the ground, they open up the ridges, spray it in the middle, close the ridges, plant their seed on top. Farmers have to understand that this product does not burn the crop. It's a natural product. It doesn't burn the crop. And we have to look at also areas where there are droughts. It's very high in lysine, which is actually a product that is in there that actually allows a plant to be drought tolerant. So in areas like the southern province where people face a lot of droughts, the eastern province where people face a lot of droughts, it would be a very good idea and imperative for them to go in with a product like this one. So the usage at first, you can drench it on the ground. And then after that, when your maize has reached 3 leaves, you can spray on the leaves. It reaches 7 leaves, you spray on the leaves. It goes into reproductive stages, which is productive 1. Again, you spray the leaves, and then again, you spray the leaves. So you just keep on spraying on the leaves, okay? You just keep on spraying at a standard rate. So for example, just to do a hectare of maize, you only need 24 liters of this product. If you look at the cost comparativeness to whatever is on the market, you're going to notice that it's actually way cheaper to use a product like this one, very easy to manage using a product like this one, and also over time it improves your soil. So these are some of the areas that you're looking at. We are not inherently saying that the practices that our farmers have used over time are inherently bad. I'm not going to be in a position to say that. Or are we saying that the fertilizers available, either synthetics or organics, are bad? We're not in a position to say that. Of course, each and everything else that is created in a certain way has its own advantages and disadvantages. So for example, the government does provide FISIP packages to the farmers. Yes, it does do that. And at a very huge cost to us as a society and as a nation. But the question you should ask yourself is, has the yields improved with all that processes going in? Have the soils improved with all those processes going in? What else are we looking at? We're looking at all these dynamics. So why is it that can't we now look at improving what the farmers are getting out of it? We don't have to increase what we're giving them, but let us come up with innovations of what we're providing them. So as a result, if you're using products like these ones, that means the farmers can maintain getting whatever packages they're getting on one side, but still increasing their productivity, as they go forward. But while in the long run, improving the soils that they have down there, because over time, our soils are losing too much. So for example, a farmer is only putting 4 elements in the ground, which is basically the NPK issues that are there all the time, and then they increase it to another ratio of N. But now, when you look at the dynamics of a plant, it requires more than 17 nutrients. So where are the other nutrients coming from if you're not putting anything back? You're only putting the hard elements back, but you're not putting the other ones back. So over time, you find that the farmer would have used this field, and then the next season, they abandon that field, they go and rip out another place, cut down a lot of trees on the other side. Why? Because now they've depleted everything that God gave you. So whatever God has given us, let us also try to make sure that it's, you know, it's also replenished. So that is one area that we can actually look at in terms of controlling the challenges that are there.
Great, great. Engineer Chiwala, you have been using organic fertilizer in your farming practice. What benefits have you seen?
There's a major shift globally to move towards organic farming and regenerative agriculture. That is the agriculture where you renew the environment on which you are planting. The issue of soil health is paramount, and it's encouraged that once every year you do your soil analysis so that you're able to understand an array of the minerals present in your soil, an array of minerals that are missing. Simply just putting fertilizer every year without understanding your soil profile, you may be putting something there you don't even need. So that is a cost to you. So having used this product, we found that both as a foliar and also for soil conditioning. As a foliar, the effect is very quick. You see the leaves of avocado becoming happy and so on. But the important thing is the timing when you do that, particularly foliar fertilizers. You do it very early in the morning and when the sun sets. And this has to do with the stomata, the opening under your leaves. Very, very important. So you spray when they are fully open so that the organic fertilizer can be absorbed and the sulfur can be absorbed and immediately applied so that the plant uses them. If you apply in another period, it will be slow and there will be wastage. And that's what we'll be learning from Green and Organics, teaching us the timing of when to apply and how much. Very, very key. So it's bringing science to farming so that it's done based on the metrics that have been designed and computed so that the plant gets just the right amount of nutrients that it requires. Mr. Peter talked about the key elements of nitrogen, phosphorus, and so on. We need to understand there are several other minerals required by the plant. And this is what this organic fertilizer does. It brings to the table boron, magnesium, zinc that are needed for plant growth. And that's what we are getting using these products.
Great, great. Dear viewers, we are discussing supporting sustainable agriculture through organic innovations. Right now, we are going to pause for a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue with the discussion. Stay tuned. Inside Agriculture is the program that keeps you informed and empowered on everything trending in the world of agriculture. This program interprets government agricultural policies, showcasing resilient farming practices, cutting-edge technologies, and the inspiring individuals driving innovation. Are you a farmer, agriculture entrepreneur, or simply passionate about food security and national development? This is your platform to stay ahead and get involved. Don't miss out. It is your time to be part of Zambia's agricultural transformation and contribute to economic growth and food security. Join us every Sunday at 14:30 hours only on Zanis TV, the People's Channel. Welcome back. In case you have just tuned in, this is Inside Agriculture, and we are discussing supporting sustainable agriculture through organic innovations. In the studio, I have with me Mr. Peter Phiri, who is an agronomist from Life Cycles Organics. And we also have Engineer Bernard Chiwala, who is an avocado farmer, and he is here to testify on how the use of organic fertilizers has been helping his farming activities. Gentlemen, let's continue with our interaction. Mr. Phiri, what common mistakes should farmers using organic fertilizers avoid in their farming practices?
Okay, there are basically three mostly that they should avoid. The first one is mixing the fertilizer with products that are not compatible to it. You have to understand this is a live bacteria, it's a natural product and a biological product. That means at that point, if you put in something that we do not recommend or not USDA approved, it becomes a challenge. The second one is also the time of application. Like engineer had said earlier, application of any fertilization in terms of foliar feeding has to happen early in the morning, between 5:30 and 7, late in the afternoon from 16 to maybe 19 hours, then you can actually pull that off. The third one, which is very, very important, is storage. How we store our products. You have to understand that you cannot store a product like this one in an area where the temperature is going up to 100 and something degrees. That means you can actually kill the bacteria there. So you have to make sure that whatever you do is done according to those standards. I think that will be one of the cardinal things. And also when it comes to spraying, let them spray a plant full cover, like let the whole plant be submerged into the product so that the product can actually be allowed to go in. If they are drenching, let them take their time. Let them not be in a hurry. Let them make sure that the whole plant is covered by the product. I think those are some of the areas where we can basically look at the basic functions that are there. Yeah.
Great. Now, from the assessments that you have conducted, how impactful are your products to the farmers using them, and what's their reaction concerning your products? Okay,
so from most of the farmers that we've interacted with, obviously the first time you're going to find resistance. People say no. I think engineer is here to testify to the aggression that our product has in terms of helping the plant with vegetative growth, helping a plant in terms of fruiting, helping a plant in terms of, just general outlook and also soil improvement. We've had a farmer who was doing roughly about 1.8 tons a hectare to 10.8 tons now. So that is because he actually used the product and he understood the dynamics of what he was doing to a point that he withdrew the product. We've had farmers who are doing tomatoes where they are suffering from blossom end rot, where the tomato is basically showing a deficiency of calcium on it. The minute they start using our product, they don't get those rots happening down there. We've had farmers who complain about nematodes down the ground that are saying, no, my plant is being hammered by XYZ. We go in and drench our product. There's actually suppression of nematodes and actually a complete wipeout. Not a complete wipeout, but there's going to be an activation of a good nematode to actually be activated instead of the bad nematode. So those are some of the dynamics that are there. We've had farmers who are doing bananas where they've told us, no, me, years and years, my bananas never did anything. Then they come in and apply our product and everything actually does change. And then we are looking at also very, very big projects going forward in terms of those who are doing organic chili. Now we are aware that a lot of chili is being exported outside the country. And one of the reasons why our farmers are failing to export most of the things is that some of the products that we use are not allowed to be exported out. They are banned in other countries where we're supposed to take our foods. So now they are telling them there, say, no, listen, you go back and start using biological, organically made products, or let me say natural products. Why are they saying that? Because they know. And we have to understand that information is here. It's not up there. These are innovations that are locally done. We are not getting any idea from anywhere else apart from what we're doing right here. The products that we're producing are produced locally here in Zambia. Our factory is in Kitwe. So that means that everything that we're doing is basically organic. It's everything that is actually here. So that's some of the things that we're looking at. And in terms of scaling up our approach to the people that we reach out, we've got agro dealers that we deal with. We've got distributors that we deal with. We've got people like Engineer Bernard. When farmers have gone to buy avocados from his farm, it's a habit now that they cannot leave that farm without actually having a full package of what they need to go and start their enterprise. So basically that's what we do. And then ourselves as Life Cycle, we are mobile guys. We are always in the field. We prefer being in the field. We don't leave any farmer. If we go into a district, wherever we find agriculture activities, we're going to stop, interact with the farmers right there and then. If they want the product, they can actually be given there. But as a business, of course, we are still a little bit new on the market, I would say. So we are still scaling up to get ourselves into better areas. So, for example, Lusaka, Eastern Province, Southern Province now, Copper Belt, Northwestern, we're in there 100%. Now in Central Province, now we're just moving to Western Province. We should be there in this month as well. We're going to be opening up the doors also so that everybody across the country can get the benefits of what we're trying to do here.
Great. Yeah. Engineer Chwala, you do produce avocado. Are we able to meet you're using the same organic fertilizers. Are we able to meet the target? As it stands now, are we able to produce what can be exported to our neighboring countries?
Looking at the global market, there is a shortage in terms of the avocados. The demand is far higher than supply. And that's what we're experiencing even in Zambia. Our cooperative, we are not even able to manage to meet the demand of ShopRite market. Already government did a good thing for the cooperative and also all growers of avocado by securing an export into South Africa. We've not even exported one as Lusaka avocado because just a local market, we can't meet the demand. So the real issue now is to scale up and expand the hectarage on which these plants are planted so that we can meet first the local demand and then do export market. And the local market also in terms of pricing is very good. So the key thing is to encourage more farmers to come to the table and join the tree crop farming. The beauty about tree crop farming, it's a generational investment. You plant, say, avocado, in the third year you begin harvesting, and you will have these fruits harvested for the next more than 4 or 5 decades. You are harvesting, and that's where we are.
And just to add on what engineer said, the idea there is it's one thing to start a production cycle of avocados and go and see engineer, but the important aspect that a farmer has to understand is how do you consistently get the yields right? That is how places like ourselves actually come in and play, because we have to make sure there's consistent harvest, the farmers are able to get what they require from there, and the production cycle is consistent. So like engineers told you to say in 3 years you start harvesting, but we've had farmers in 2 years that have started harvesting after going in with the. So these are some of the areas that we can basically look at as well. As of course the government can put out policies, but also we have to make sure that how do we meet the demand that is locally and we can actually export. And we have to remember something. We need to continue producing food that is sustainable to us, to have a healthy life and all that. But of late, I think you're hearing that food can actually kill us. Okay? Food was supposed to be sustainable to us, but now certain foods in the way that they are produced are becoming harmful to our health. I think that's something that we should try to avoid. And for example, a country like ourselves, where we still have a lot of land, we still have a lot of trees, we still have a lot of land around, and all these things that we have that God just gave us on, which our friends in other areas do not have. That's why they take certain risks to produce to feed themselves out there. So there are some technologies we can adopt from the outside world, but they are technologies that are inherently here. Okay, for example, our grandparents, how are they living? How are they storing their food? How are they doing this? How are they doing that? How are they doing this? Because, for example, even the Chitemene system that at one point we read in our books was very bad, it had very adverse effect. Yes, of course it did. But now when you have products like these ones that can allow a farmer to grow his maize or his soybeans in the same area for more than 1 or 2 seasons, that makes a lot of sense. So they don't go and open up another area, cut down trees, grow malasha there, then after that they go back and then cut another area. I mean, what will happen in the next 6, 7 years? They would have actually made maybe a good 400 hectares into a mini desert of some sort. So we are trying to avoid all that by actually using natural ways of actually growing stuff.
Great. Yeah. Engineer Wala, even as we come to the end of this program, what could be your last word and the word of encouragement to the farmers watching? The
rain season is here. I would like to encourage avocado farmers to plant those trees so that together when we aggregate, we can meet the local demand and excess, we can go into the export market. That will be my counsel and advice to avocado farmers.
Great. Mr. Phiri, as we wrap up the interview, what are your final remarks with regards to the adoption of climate resilient farming practices?
My advice to most of the farmers and those who are listening to us today is you don't have to inherently start big. You can start small and improve. You can learn from somewhere and improve. What we're trying to say is we have products that are balanced. We have systems that are balanced. It is very difficult for someone to move from one side to another side. So it's better you strike the middle. So, but in the long run, the farmer sees the benefits. Let us also think about the environment where we are living. Our grandparents left us these soils. Our great-grandparents left us this land. Let us not be the generation or the generations going forward that now leave nothing for the people that are coming behind us. That is why we're encouraging people to get into situations like this one. Let's try our best to avoid deforestation. Let's try our best to avoid, the loss of water. Let's try our best to do just the right practices to make sure that agriculture remains sustainable and profitable for the future generations to come. I think that is what I can encourage a lot of farmers, and they can see that the brands are there, the Life Cycle Organics were there to stay, and we are here to encourage each and every person in the agriculture sector to, move into a natural way of doing things and still get the profits that they require out of it. I think that is my last word.
Great. Mr. Piri and Engineer Chiwala, thank you so much for making an appearance on Inside Agriculture. We hope to have you next time so that we can continue with our interaction. Well, dear viewers, this has been Inside Agriculture, and today we are discussing supporting sustainable agriculture through organic innovations. In the studio, I had Engineer Bernard Chiwala, who is an avocado farmer, and was here just to testify on how the use of organic fertilizers has been helping his farming activities. Also in the studio was Mr. Peter Piri, an agronomist, who was here just to share more light on the use of organic fertilizers. I have been Emmanuel Mwemba, and on behalf of the entire Zanis production team, we say goodbye and continue enjoying the rest of our programming.